Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2017, and I hope you guys had a Happy New Year. Hope you guys enjoyed your Christmas break, because I did. Enjoyed a wonderful time with my family and everything, but now it's January. It's 2017. There's so many great things that's happening in video games, comic books, anime, everything. But specifically, we're going to talk about video games. There are a ton of games that I missed out on, and there's a ton of games that's coming out that I want to get my hands on. So I figured I'd put this video together to share, my enthusiasm of what games I want to play and what games that I'm looking forward to. So keep in mind that some of the games that I do name are games that also been released in the past, like 2015, 2016, and then of course it's not exclusive to games that's coming out in 2017. So it's gonna be a mixture of everything. So let's get started. First up is Street Fighter V. Now Street Fighter V, I know it's going on a year since this game has been released, but I still haven't got my hands on this title yet, and that's simply because, one, I didn't have an arcade stick for the PS4. Even though I have arcade sticks for the Xbox 360, I know I can get my arcade sticks modded, but I didn't want to go through the whole hassle, and I've been so busy with other titles and other things as far as my YouTube and my business is concerned, so I haven't had time to really play Street Fighter. But despite some of the backlash that Street Fighter V has received early on since its release, I'm still excited for this title, and now since I waited this long, I know it's pretty much like a full package. It's got the story mode. Of course, Juri Han is DLC. She's one of my mains since Street Fighter 4. So now I get a chance to really play her, and of course Ryu. So I'm definitely going to dive in it since now since season 2 it pretty much started for Street Fighter 5. So that's pretty much it as far as that's concerned for that game. And then next up we have, of course, the Crash Bandicoot Trilogy remake. Now I'm really excited for this. Now if you guys haven't checked out my video of me talking about this game, I'll advise you to go check that out. I might leave that in the link in the description below or whatever at the end of this video. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to this trilogy. It's been a long time coming for Crash Bandicoot. There's been so many signs, so many hints that Crash Bandicoot may be making a return, and having a trilogy remade from the ground up is I can't ask for anything more, Yeah, of course I would like a new Crash Bandicoot game, but this trilogy, a remake, is totally fine for me. I definitely want to get my hands on it, and of course I would love to do a let's play so you guys can see my reactions, and just this childhood experience is finally coming back to me, and I really looking forward to it. So next up is Horizon Zero Dawn. Now since 2015, this game during E3, this game has been shown around. It's been revealed and everything, and this game really spiked my interest because it has a cross, or it looks like it has a mixture of Tomb Raider, some Uncharted, and it has some Zelda aspects to it. So it really got me excited, especially with this open world. And as far as the story is concerned, it looks interesting because here we are. We have a post-apocalyptic world. How do these people end up this way? And what is up with these robots and these animals that are considered, that it has mechanical parts to them and everything like that? And how the main character has pretty much been exiled from the rest of her people and everything. So I'm very interested to see where the story is going, and the world is the way it is. So can't wait. I'm looking forward to it, and it's surprising to see that Guerrilla Games is doing something different besides Killzone and everything. So seeing them doing an action adventure game is really interesting in my opinion. So next up we're going to talk about, or the game that I'm looking forward to playing is Tales of Berseria. Now Tales of Berseria, I haven't played any of the Tales games in a long time. I was going to get Tales of Berseria, but I ended up skipping out on that because I was going to wait for the Star Ocean game that was coming out, that was on its way being released for the PS4. So I skipped out on that, but my brother DX Strike and Keo Lancer had ended up buying the game. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait, because I ended up finding out that Tales of Berseria was on its way for 2017. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this game. I want to get back into the Tales games because it's been a long time since I played a Tales game. The last Tales game I really sat down and played was Tales of Graces, and Tales of Graces was a pretty good game. At the same time, it was pretty disappointing as well, but all in all, Tales is the game that I'll always come back to, regardless of how much they try to change it or how much they try to add different things to it and everything. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I believe it's supposed to come out this month, so expect to hear some more news and information about the game coming from me on my YouTube channel. So yeah, that's that. Then next up we have King of Fighters 14. Now I know I'm late. King of Fighters 14 has been released since last summer, and I still haven't got my hands on this. Like I said before about Street Fighter 5, I haven't really got my hands on that as well. But King of Fighters 14, I really want to play King of Fighters. I haven't really sat down and played the King of Fighters franchise overall, because like I said, Street Fighter was something that I grew up on. I didn't care too much for the King of Fighters growing up. It was one thing about King of Fighters, because since I knew more about Street Fighter than King of Fighters, I always seen King of Fighters as that, I guess you could say, that welfare version of Street Fighter, or that generic version of Street Fighter, because like I said, I'm growing up around Street Fighter. But as time, progressed and time went along, when Capcom vs SNK was introduced, the SNK characters and the King of Fighters characters had, gave me some interest. It made me look deeper and deeper into the King of Fighters franchise, especially once I got my hands on Mugen and playing some of the, the SNK characters and everything. So hopefully that King of Fighters 14 will be the title that really get me into the franchise. I really want to sit down and learn this game, because to me, in my opinion, from me playing my experience with King of Fighters 13, King of Fighters 13 has felt like a more complicated, more complex, in-depth gameplay system compared to Street Fighter. The Street Fighter has a easy to get into but hard to master, but this game, the entry level to this game, to me, in my opinion, seems way more complex than Street Fighter. So let's move on to the next title that I'm looking forward to playing, and that's I Am Setsuna. Now, this game was released back in 2016. You can get it at the PlayStation Network shop. Square Enix had worked on this game, and this game is pretty much paying homage to the older RPGs back then, like Chrono Trigger and all the old classical RPGs back in the NES era and the old PlayStation eras and everything. And I'm glad they're paying homage to that, because looking at this title, I definitely want to get my hands on it. If you notice that my list more so has RPGs in it, because RPGs is something that I grew up on. It's a genre that I love the most. And before I even started getting into fighters, it was always RPGs. If the game wasn't an RPG, best believe I was not playing the game. If the game was action adventure but had RPG elements in it, I was playing it. If it was a shooter and had RPG elements in it, I will play the game. And RPGs is something I really want to get back into, and RPGs are very time consuming. And that's the thing, that's why I haven't really got into RPGs as much as now, because I'm an adult, I'm getting older, and I really had the time to sit down. But I definitely want to sit down and play some of these great RPGs. So I'm really looking forward to this game, and definitely expect a let's play or my impressions on this game this year. So next up we have Nier 2, I believe it's called, or Nier Automata. I never really played any of the Nier games. Now, my brother Keo Lancer had Nier for the PS3, and to me, Nier didn't look all that great to me on the PS3 during that time. But there's something about Nier 2 that looks, the graphics and everything, the gameplay, and it looks like it has some RPG elements to it too. And like I said before, lately I've been having an action adventure itch in my system that I'm really needs to be scratched right now. And this game looks beautiful, looks gorgeous, and the soundtrack is just amazing. So I definitely want to get my hands on this, and I just want to know what's up with these two characters. They look like twins, but they're not twins, and they both are blindfolded, and it really has my interest. Now, I know there's a demo out for this game, but for me, when it comes to demos, I don't really play demos much. For one, they take up space in your hard drive, and two, I like my first experience with the game when I first purchased the game. Yeah, I'll look at trailers and everything, but I never really wanted to play the demos much at all, because even though the demos sometimes doesn't reflect the final product, but demos, it kind of fulfill that itch that I have or whatever. So I'd much rather just wait for the title to come out, buy it, and then get that itch right there, get that scratch right there on my first time playing the game. So I'm definitely going to play this game. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and expect maybe some impressions on this game from me, or some gameplay coming from me. Then next up we have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And now, I've always been the Versus, when it comes to the Versus series, I've always been the fan since X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It's almost going on, what, 2 decades now since the Versus series been around, and now we coming back with some more Marvel vs. Capcom, and I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to see how the gym's going to play a role in, you know, the gameplay mechanics, and now we're back to 2v2. So it's like the series is kind of like rebooting itself. And the thing I love most about Marvel's Capcom series is what characters to expect from Capcom and Marvel. So I'm really definitely looking forward to it, and I'm definitely going to be doing a top 5 Capcom characters I would love to see, and a top 5 Marvel characters I would love to see for this title as well. So stay tuned for that when I get to starting on and working on that video as well. Then last but not least, we have Zelda Breath of the Wild. Yes, I've been a big time Zelda fan. The first game I've ever played as a child growing up when I was 4 years old was Zelda on the NES. So Zelda is always close to my heart. I have a bunch of Legend of Zelda action figures. I have a lot of Zelda paraphernalia, period, and I'm looking forward to Breath of the Wild. Zelda Breath of the Wild, a Zelda game that's very big, open world. Can't wait to explore it, and it's the story, it's the lore. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the story. And now that Zelda has voice acting in it, I can't wait to see, you know, what they're going to do with this, and I'm really looking forward to. This is one of the most anticipated games that I'm definitely looking forward to this year. We have Nintendo announcing Nintendo's having the Nintendo Switch conference coming up pretty soon to know more about the Nintendo Switch, and this is definitely one of the titles that I will definitely be picking up for the Nintendo Switch. I'm sorry, Wii U, you ran its course. I loved it. I loved you and everything, but now Nintendo Switch is on its way, and Zelda Breath of the Wild is going to be the game that's going to take my life over. So that's pretty much it for the list that I have of games that I definitely want to play and get my hands on for 2017 so far. This is just a small list, just to give you an idea of what's going on and what my taste is and what my interest is. So what games are you looking forward to playing in 2017? Do you have a backlog of games that you still haven't played from last year? And if you do, make sure you put those in the comments. I'd like to know what games that you're currently playing and what games that you're looking forward to playing this year. So that wraps everything up. If you have any gaming news that you want me to talk about, or any gaming topics you want me to talk about in the gaming industry, make sure you leave that in the comment section below too. And this is MugenLord signing off.